Working here for another 3, just opening up through the back body. 2. And 1. From there, ground down with the feet, engage the core. Inhale, reach and rise, lift, extend, stretching all the way up to the sky. And exhale, swan dive, folding forwards, hands plant, head drops. On an inhale, come up high on the fingertips or bring the hands to the shins, stretch out, find a long flat back, extending through hammies, calves and lower back. Inhale, exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step or jump, find your way to a plank. Hands underneath the shoulders, strong through the core. From here, we're going to move straight into some movement. So we're going to arch, pike the hips, tap towards the toes, and back again. So it might be you're just reaching towards the toes. It doesn't matter if you can't tap all the way. You might be able to tap all the way. So we're piking the hips, squeezing the core, tapping one toe, tapping the other. If that's too much, you can just move from a plank to a dog. The aim here is we're starting to find some dynamic flexibility in the calves and the hamstrings. If you're taking that little cross tap, we're starting to take a little bit of a twist. We're building some heat in the body. Working here for 5, so thinking about squeezing in the core, finding some power, some movement, connecting in with the abs, feeling the abs power, that lift and lower of the hips. 3, well done, looking good at home. 2, and 1, find your way up to a down dog. So spread the fingers out wide, throw those hips up high, deep upside down V shape. Remember, you can bring hands and feet a little closer together if you need to give yourself a little more support. And when you're ready from there, it's going to come back into the center of the mat. Right foot is going to rise up tall. Inhale, squeeze that right glute, stretch the left heel to the earth, 3-leg dog. Exhale, drive knee to nose, squeeze the core. Inhale, reach, extend, stretch up. Exhale, drive that knee to nose. One more time. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, drive knee to nose. And then we're going to sweep back into a scorpion leg dog. Right heel to the bum, left heel is coming to the earth. We're opening out through the hips here, starting to feel some heat in that right quad. Keep pressing evenly with both hands into the mat so you feel the side body lengthen. Take just 1 deep breath in and down. And from there, we're going to move to lizard. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, floating that right foot outside the right hand, dropping the left knee down. Making sure this right knee is over right ankle. So if you need to adjust, if you need to creep that right foot forwards, feel free. Left knee down, right knee over right ankle. Just going to flow our lizard. So inhale, dropping the hips, chest forwards. Exhale, rocking back, finding a light stretch in the hammies. Inhaling forward, shoulders back, stretching out through the chest. Exhale, rock it back, stretch it back, open up those hamstrings. One more time. Inhaling forward, shoulders back, stretching out. Exhale, rocking back into the hamstrings. Inhale forwards. From there, stretching back to a plank. You can either press straight to down dog, or if you fancy a little lower plank and up dog, we're going to move the toes, move the body weight forwards, bend the elbows, ribcage to elbows, low plank. Inhale, up dog, squeeze the glutes, chest lifts, up dog. Exhale your way to a downward facing dog, hips up high. So reset your dog, find that power, find that lift. Let's go, left side, left foot rises. Inhale, squeeze that left glute, right heel to the earth. Exhale, drive knee to nose, work those abs. Inhale, reach and stretch up, find that lovely space in the right leg, and drive knee to nose, strong core. One more time. Inhale, lift, extend. Exhale to drive. Lift and open that left heel in towards the bum, so the left hip stacks above right. Finding a scorpion leg dog. Press hard with both hands into the mat so you find a sensation of space and length down the side body. Core stays engaged. One more breath in. And down. And when you're ready, inhale, prepare. And exhale, float that left foot outside the left hand. Drop the right knee down. Again, just take some time. You want that left knee to be over the left ankle. You don't want that left knee to be forward. So if you need to bring the left ankle forwards, feel free. Hands plant. And when you're ready, flow it out. Inhale, dropping the hips forwards. Exhale, rock it back, stretch into the hamstrings. So inhale, flowing forwards, stretching forwards. Exhale, rocking back, stretching back. One more time. Inhaling forward, shoulders back, stretch it out. Exhale, rocking back. Inhaling forwards, finding your way back to plank. And either again, straight to down dog, or if you're feeling it, use the toes, move the body weight forwards. Bend the elbows, ribcage to elbows, low plank. Rolling onto the tops of the feet, squeeze the glutes, chest lifts, up dog, little back bend. Exhale your way, downward facing dog. Hips up high. Take a moment, take a breath. That's our warm-up done. We're going to move to weights next. Take one more deep breath in. And down. And from there, bending the knees, we'll look to the thumbs, hop, step, jump forwards. Inhale, extend, stretch. exhale to fold. From there, grab your weights. I'm going to move to my slightly heavier weights here. So for this first little sequence, so if you have got a little choice of weights, you might want some slightly heavier ones here. We're going to be getting particularly into the lower body and the back. So when you're ready, find yourself to standing. We're going to take a nice and easy straight leg deadlift into a high pull. So feet are hip distance apart, palms are facing the thighs, engage the core. We're going to stick the bum out behind us. So when we're taking a straight leg deadlift, we want to just lower down as far as you keep the chest lifted. You want to round the upper back, so really work the abs, focus on extension. From there, we're going to rise on up, and then we're going to squeeze the weights to the chin. So I'll just turn around so you can see here. So the elbows lift, and then we're lowering down again. So slow lower, working into the core, into the hamstrings, and then we're taking a lift up, squeezing elbows into the air. Shoulders should feel like they're engaging. We're working into the upper back. So slow lower, moving the body weight forward, strong through the core, feeling that length in the back. Nice way to build the flexibility. And then we're driving weights to chin, elbows in the air, high pull. Perfect. So slow lower, and then squeeze the core, taking it all the way up into that high pull. You should feel loads of work in the upper back. Working here for 5, so slow, control, squeeze the core, drive those elbows in the air, and lower, 4. So slowly extending forwards, thinking about that squeeze on the way up, squeezing up. So thinking about moving from a awareness and a focus on the lower body here in that deadlift, and then we're driving on up, squeezing, working to the upper back. 3, try and keep that long spine, try and keep that core engaged. 2, almost there, hang on in there, elbows to sky. 1 more. And from there, release. We're going to turn the palms face up here, and we're going to step back with the left foot. From there, we're going to angle the body forwards, so we're in a diagonal lunge. So take some time, set yourself up. Right knee's over right ankle, left toes are grounded. If you need to give yourself more space, feel free. There's a diagonal line from heel to head. This really gives us loads of work into this right quad. If you do need to come up to upright, feel free. So we're finding this diagonal lunge, palms are facing up. From there, we're going to take some reverse grip rows. So we're going to take 3 rows. So we're drawing the elbows past the rib cage, really squeeze into the back body, and then lowering down. So squeeze and lower. 1 more, squeeze and lower. From there, we're going to squeeze, lift the chest. From there, we're going to rotate the arms, palms then facing the front of the room, press up into the sky, draw the shoulders, the hands back down, rotate and lower, angle the body forwards, and we're back into those reverse grip rows. So 3 rows, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we're going to squeeze, lift, rotate the arms, press up and lower. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see. So carrying on there, so it's 3 rows, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then when you've done 3, we're going to lift the torso, rotate the arms, press on up, Arnold press. We're getting into biceps, into shoulders. So we're working lower body here. Again, we're getting into the back muscles, really nice way to strengthen those muscles that support healthy spine. We're working the core, so when you lift into that shoulder press, into that Arnold press, think about using the core. Working here for another 3. So just 1 more set here of those little pulls, lift, press, and lower, and from there, dropping that back knee down. From there, we're going to lose the weights, and we're just going to extend the right hand up into the sky, rolling onto the outer edge of that right foot, just finding a quick little stretch through the hips. Deep breath in. And 1 more inhale. Exhale. From there, we're rolling back through center and finding our way to a table pose. So from here, we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. We're in a table pose, and we're going to take a row to a tricep extension. So with the left hand down on the mat, we're going to squeeze, row back, so it's a similar movement, elbows gliding past the rib cage, and then we're going to extend that left arm straight. Should feel like loads of work in the back of the arms, and then we're going to lower again. So squeezing, extend, come back in, and lower. So we're squeezing that shoulder blade, extending, feel that power in the back body, and lower. Of course, if you want to pop up into a plank to take this, feel free. So we're working this movement from a prone position. Really helps create extra power in that row. We also have to work the abs really hard to keep this plank position or this table position. If it's too much, you can also just take the row without the tricep extension. Awesome stuff. So either from the knees or from a plank, take the feet wide. If you need to, we're going to row and take a tricep kick back. So we're drawing the elbow past the rib cage, keeping it there as we extend the arm, really fiery, working here for 5, strong through the core. 4, getting into the triceps. This is a fantastic muscle to strengthen for our chaturangas, our low plank transitions. 3, 2, 1 more, and release. Well done. Plant your weights to the side, find your way to plank. From there, from high plank, use the toes, move the body weight forwards, lower through low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog, stretching up high with the hips. Take a deep breath in. And from there, bend the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, long flat back, stretching out. Exhale, fold, release. From there, you're very welcome to take that straight leg deadlift into a high pull, or we're going to take it a little bit harder. We're going to take a single leg deadlift into a knee drive. So taking the palms to the thighs, right foot is going to ground, engage the core, inhale, and exhale, slowly seesaw forwards over that right leg, and then we're going to rise on up and take a knee drive, squeezing knee to chest. So left leg out behind you, slow lower, with control, and then squeezing on up. As before, you want to focus on length here. So try and find that sense of the spine extending, the core engaged, working on balance, and a little bit of abs as we drive knee to chest. Swapping legs, left foot down, engage the core, right foot out behind you. So slow lower, working on balance, on hamstrings, on core, and then drive on up, knee to chest. So we're seesawing the body over that standing leg, moving down with control just as far as you can, and then drive on up, knee to chest. One more time, slow lower, and drive on up, knee to chest. From there, we're going to step back with the right foot and find our way into our second side. So left knee over left ankle, right toes back. Make sure you feel really strong in that lunge there. Make sure you feel like you've got loads of power. Flip the palms, so the palms are facing the sky. Angle the body forwards. We're going to take that reverse row. So we're keeping the elbows glued into the rib cage, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Should feel really fiery. We take 3 rows. And then from there, we rotate, lift the torso, press up to the sky, strong core as we flow, and then return back down. So we're taking those 3 rows, strong through the core. And then we're going to lift the torso, bring the weights up, rotate the arms, press up, and return. So really nice. This is called an Arnold press. We get into the biceps, into the shoulders, into the chest. So 3 reverse grip rows, squeeze the core, rotate, turn the weights, press on up, and return. Remember, you're trying to make that transition between the 2 moves really slow and controlled, similar to those hinges we did in the last round. You want to focus on using the core to move between an upright and a diagonal position. Just taking 1 more set after this one. So power on up. I know that leg's probably starting to burn. Hang on in there. Angle the body forwards. Squeeze. Up, return, row. And press. Perfect. And from there, lose the weights. Drop that right knee down. Left hand to the sky. Open out through that left side of the hip. Stretching out. Finding that really lovely rotation through the chest. Deep breaths in. And out. Lovely big stretch down the outside of the left leg through the left side of the chest. 1 more inhale. Exhale. And from there, we are finding our way back to a table pose or a plank. So same again, from our table, we've got the left hand planted this time, squeezing the right elbow past the rib cage, and then extending the right arm, return and lower. So we're squeezing and then extending that right hand back, moving with control, keeping the core engaged. Try to be slow and try to control both sides of the movement. So we're aiming in the row to get into the upper back, and then when we extend that arm behind us, you should feel loads of work into the tricep in the back of the upper arm. If you want to take that tricep extension out, if that's too much, feel free. If you're feeling it, take it up to a plank and work from a plank. That is quite an unstable movement from a plank, so if you need to take the feet wider for extra stability, feel free. Remember, you're keeping the core engaged, keeping the legs engaged. So we're working the upper body here, but getting loads of work for the abs as well. Awesome, looking good at home. So moving with control, try as much as you can not to rotate the hips. Working here for 5. So moving, slow squeeze, step it back. Keep that focus on form. If you need to move from plank to knees and back again, feel free. 3. Well done, really power into the back body. 2. 1 more. And release, well done. Find your way to plank, well done. Find plank. Use the toes, move the body weight forwards, lower through low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Well done. Give yourself a little shake out. Give yourself a little moment. If you need to take a child's pose instead, feel free. Thinking about inhaling, lifting and lengthening those hips high. Exhale, let the chest relax. 1 more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. From there, bending the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, long flat back, stretching out. Exhale to fold. All right, from here we're going to move into our second little sequence. I'm going to take some slightly lighter weights here, whichever ones you prefer. We're going to be working again into the triceps and taking some dynamic movement. So starting off, we're going to come to standing, arms out in front of us. From there, we're going to sink into a chair, and we're going to squeeze, drawing the weights to the face, elbows behind us. So it's another variation of a row. This one's another really great one to get into the upper back. So we're powering it up to standing, and then we're sinking into a chair and taking a face pull, elbows squeezing backwards. Should feel like a really nice work for opening the chest. So we're pressing away and squeezing back into a chair. Remember the chair, you've got the core engaged, the hips down low, knees over ankles. So moving between the two with control. So don't feel like you're standing up, but feel like you're squeezing up. Feel like core stay engaged. We're moving with control, trying to coordinate those two movements. Nice work, looking good. So we're bending the knees, squeezing the elbows behind us, and pressing away with control. Working here for 5, so squeeze, 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 strong through the core, working to the shoulders, into the upper back, 4, loads of work for the quads, the glutes here, 3, almost there, 2, 1 more, so we're going to press and squeeze, and come up to standing, take the weights to the heart center, step back with the left foot. We're going to take a warrior 1 here. So the left foot is going to come to the left side of the mat. The right knee is facing forwards, steering the hips to the long side of the short side of the mat. So it's a lunge, but we've got the whole outer edge of that back foot grounded. We're steering the hips down, big, deep bend in that right knee. So take the feet wide if you need to create space. Engage the core. You should feel like stretch through the left hip flexor. From there, we're going to take the weights over the head. And you can either have the elbows, the weights touching onto the shoulders, or the hands together, whatever feels best for you. You want to keep the elbows within the eyes range though, so you should be able to see your elbows just tucked in your eyes vision. From there, we're going to extend the arms straight and lower them back down again. So it's a similar exercise to what we just took in a plank. Again, we're working into the triceps, working it from this upright position. You have to really focus on control, getting some work for the shoulders as well. And of course, we're going to be hanging around in this warrior 1 for quite a while. So you're going to be getting fantastic work for the legs. So really keep thinking about that warrior 1. You've got the core engaged, you're powering into the legs, you're squeezing the glutes, you're actively rotating the hips to the front side of the mat. Perfect. Hang on in there, working here for 5. So I know those triceps probably starting to talk. Hang on in, 4. Well done. So elbows stay in the midline, keep pressing up, 3. Almost there. 2, keep that chest lifted. And 1, release. So we're going to release that back left knee down to the mat, finding our way into a low lunge. So right knee is over right ankle, left knee is back. Set yourself up, make sure you feel comfortable. So any variation of a lunge, low lunge. From there, we're going to take both weights together over to the left hip, which is the grounded back knee. And then we're going to sweep up over the head and bring the hands to the shoulders, bending the elbows. So we're taking a wood chopper. So you're imagining you're swinging an axe here. So we're moving from essentially the weights touching that back left thigh. We're sweeping up. We're taking a twist through the torso. Weights come to the shoulder and back again. So this is a really great exercise for getting into the obliques. We're working in our low lunge here, getting a little bit of flexibility as well. So we're taking this movement, so we're sweeping. So it's almost like you're doing some sort of discus throw. You want to find this rotation through the chest as you move from the hands from that left thigh all the way around over the shoulder, keeping the core engaged, keeping the power in the legs. Nice, looking great. Working here for 5. So slow and controlled, 4. Well done. 3, almost there. 2. One more. So we're sweeping up and over and return. Well done. From here, we're finding our way to a table, or we have the option to take a plank. And we're going to take rotations here. So we're going to lift that left arm up to the sky like a rotating side plank, and then lower again. So rotating, squeezing up. It's like a chest fly, and returning. If that's too much, you can just keep the knees grounded, and you're just lifting and lowering that left arm. So you just lift and lower. And if you want to take it harder, we're going to come into a plank. So from that plank position, we're lifting and lowering that left arm, keeping the core engaged. If you want to add in a rotation all the way up into a side plank, feel free. That makes that range of motion a little bit bigger, so it can be a little bit stronger for the shoulders, the chest. So you've got that option to just stay low and just lift it a little way if you prefer. So either taking a rotation from a plank, if you'd like to rotate that all the way into a side plank, feel free. Keeping that arm straight. This is quite a fiery move. If you want to just work lifting and lowering without the weight, you'll get loads of benefits as well. So either from table lifting and lowering that arm, or maybe taking it into a side plank and returning again. So any variations. Moving with control for 5. So here we're getting into the fly, really great one for the chest, for the back. Be mindful, keep checking in with what's going on in your upper back. 3. Well done. Slow and control. 2. And 1. Well done. Find your way to plank and lower down through low plank. Inhaling up dog, shoulders back. Exhale your way to a downward facing dog. Hips up high, stretching along with the spine. Inhale. Exhale. From there, bending the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, fold. From there, we're grabbing our weights again. We're going to take another little chair-based exercise before we move into our second side. So we're going to drop the hips low, take the palms to the sky. So we're in a chair pose, palms out in front of us, and we're going to squeeze the core, reach up and around. So I'll turn around to see. So we're sinking down low. So similar to the last one, we're moving from chair to standing, squeezing on up, and we're drawing a lovely circle with the sky. So you might recognize this is the around the world or the full count. We took this in the last series as well. Really fantastic mobilizing and conditioning exercise for all of the muscles of the rotator cuff. Keep the shoulders down, just lifting the arms as far as you can. We're moving with control here, so squeeze the core. Try to find control in that lower and lift, working through that chair. Nice work. So working here for 5. So slow and controlled, squeeze on up, moving down. Really focus on engagement. 3. Well done. Almost there. 2. And 1 more. So sinking down, lifting up, and bring hands to heart. Stepping back with the right foot, we're back into warrior 1. Left foot is facing forwards, right foot is facing on a 45 at the back of the mat. Big wide stance. You want to be able to actively steer the hips towards the front of the room. Tucking the pelvis, pressing really hard with the outer edge of that back foot, squeezing in the core, big deep lunge in that front leg. So we're stretching out through the right hip flexors, squeeze the glutes, working to the left quad, and when you're ready, arms overhead. Remember, you can either have elbows within the eyes range and weights on shoulders, or you can take the hands together if that's better for you. And we're going to take those tricep extensions. So we're extending and keeping that control. So remember, keep those elbows in. Try not to let them splay out. Keep the core engaged. Keep that sense of power in your warrior 1. You're actively pressing into the legs. You're rotating through the hips. The core is engaged. You're pressing and lowering. Working here with control. So remember, as with all of our movements here, it's all about control. Try not to drop the weight. Try not to rush the lift and lower. Remember, you can lose the weights anytime. Hanging in there. Working here for 5. Try and keep that 4. 4. Pressing up. Slow, lower. 3. Well done. 2. 1 more if you can. And drop that back knee down. Awesome stuff. So right knee drops, left knee is moving forward. So we're into our low lunge, stretching out through this hip flexor. Take some time, adjust if you need to. Make sure you're in a nice, comfortable low lunge. We're going to take that wood chopper. So taking the weights and the hands together over to your right hip, and then we're going to sweep the hands up and over the shoulders like we've got a little wood chopper on the go, and then we're going to sweep back. So the torso starts off slightly rotating towards the right. We then squeeze the core, lift, and it ends up slightly rotating towards that left leg, weights coming over shoulder. So we've got a bit of an axe sweeping motion here, squeezing the core, rotate, a really fabulous exercise. Nice way to rotate and mobilize, as well as getting into the abs, the core. So keep that focus on the core, on the muscles that are working here for 5. So slow and controlled. 4, deep breaths in, and out. 3, strong through the abs, you're doing really well. 2, 1 more, and release. Well done. From there, finding your way back to a plank. And we're taking those lateral lifts on the plank, so arm rotation. So option 1, from your table, you're just lifting and lowering that right arm, keeping the body parallel to the mat, only lifting and lowering as far as you can keep control. Try and keep that arm straight, lose the weight if you need to. If you want to take that into a rotation and then return with control, really trying to balance out that movement, feel free. Really opening out into a full fly and back again. If you want to pop up into a plank and either just lifting the arm and lowering it, keeping the hips square, or taking it all the way into a rotating side plank and back again, working there. So thinking about moving with control, strong through the core, opening up. Remember, you're very welcome to switch around between levels, so if you feel that it gets too much, you can just drop back down, lose the weight. So a really great way to strengthen the muscles of the chest, of the back. Of course, we're getting loads and loads of work for the core here. Really quite challenging to stabilize this position. Have to work those abs hard. Try and remember to breathe. Working here for 5. Deep breaths in and out. 4. Almost there. We've got one more warrior base flow after this. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Find your way back to a plank. Hands under the shoulders. Use the toes. Move the body weight forwards. Bend the elbows. Low plank. Inhaling into up dog. Shoulders back. Stretch out. Exhaling all the way back. Downward facing dog. Hips up high. Stretching out. Inhaling. Exhaling. From there, bend the knees. Look to hands. Hop, step, jump forwards. Inhale. Find your long flat back. Stretching out. Exhale to fold. Relax. Finding your weights, we're going to start off with a balance here. So we're going to take a tree pose. So moving the weight into your right foot. Because we're going to be working with upper body as well here, you might want to take it slightly lower. So you can either keep your left foot on the floor, then that gives you loads of stability, or take it onto the shin. Or if you feel pretty stable, do feel free to take it up onto the inner thigh of the right leg, pressing that right foot in. From there, we're going to take the elbows in line with the shoulders, little pec decks. We're going to squeeze in and open back. So I'm going to take that right foot a little bit lower, a bit more stable for me. So we're squeezing the elbows in and then opening back. Like those little chest machines you get in the gym, we're squeezing in and stretching open. So again, we're thinking about building muscle in those areas of the body which help stabilize the shoulders, the spine, keeping the core engaged, working on balance. Remember, core is really important. So keep that core engaged, working here for 5. A little bit of opening through the hips in our tree pose. 4, nice work. 3, 2, and 1. Take the weights to the heart. Step back with the left foot. Right foot is facing forward. So we're taking warrior 2 here. Left foot is facing the long side of the mat. Right foot is taking the short side of the mat. Thinking about finding that warrior 2. So big wide stance, really powering into the legs, right knee over right ankle. From there, we're going to take the weights out in line with the shoulders. So we've got the weights to the sky here, palms to the sky, and we're going to take bicep curls. So this is quite a fiery one. So I've got my ones here, and I think that's where I'm at. If it's too much for you, you can take the weights lower. So you can take a lower angle, or you can lose the back weight and just work with that front arm. So here we are, we're pumping iron, feeling pretty good. So extend and driving in. So we've done loads of work for the triceps here in today's class, and now we're working the biceps, the opposing muscles, so making sure we're balanced. Working to the hips here, thinking about maintaining that power in the hips. Should feel like a slight hip opener as well. Perfect, looking good. Working here for 5. Forward, so just work your own pace. If you need to take the arms lower, do feel free. 3, well done. 2, and 1, release the weights there. So just dropping the weights down, and we're going to take a lovely little triangle pose, nice little relax. So left foot facing the right of the mat, right foot forwards, lean, lean, lean forwards, and then windmill the hands open. Make sure you're not sticking the butt up behind you, but press really hard on the mat, stretching the body open. Deep inhale, lifting and opening and stretching out through the chest. Taking one more inhale, exhale. And from there, windmill the hands back to plank. And we're going to flow straight into a down dog. So stretching straight back to down dog, or use the toes, move the body weight forwards, lower through low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Stretching up high with the hips. Take a deep, full breath in. And down. From there, bend the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, find your long flat back, stretch. Exhale, fold. Second side. So moving your weight into your left foot here and taking a tree leg. So either having that right foot on the floor, on the lower shin. If it's comfortable for you, take it up to the upper shin, feel free. Strong through the core. And again, we're going to take little pec deck. So elbows out in line with the shoulders, and then we're squeezing in and extending open. Remember, the core is engaged. We're moving with control. Nice work for 5. So slow and controlled. 4. Well done. Almost there. So hang on in there, squeeze the core, make sure that left quad is engaged, the core is engaged. 3. Almost there. 2. And 1. Release weights to heart. Left foot is facing forwards, right foot back. So we've got our warrior 2 on the other side. Left knee over left ankle, really powering into the outer edge of that right foot. Big wide stance, strong through the core, and taking the weights up. Bicep curls. So make sure that left knee is tracking over left ankle. You're pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. We're lifting and lowering here. Remember, if you want to take the arms lower, you're very welcome to. Just keep working your own level. Make sure that left knee doesn't lock in towards the left big toe. Find that slight sense of moving it out towards the pinky. Opening out through your hips, so feel that broadening through the hip bones. Core is engaged, spine is long. Awesome. Working here for 5. Slow and controlled. Try not to rush it. 4. Well done. It's a little triangle after this. And then we're going to move into some stretches and abs. 3. 2, and 1. So we're straightening that front leg. You can lose the weights there. Left foot is facing forwards, right foot is facing to the long side of the mat. Take the arms wide, engage the core, lean, 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 and when you reach your limit, windmilling the hands open, stretching open into a triangle pose. So you just aim to find a lovely big stretch through the inside of that left leg. Keep powering into the outer edge of that right leg. Deep breath in, and really strong through the legs, through the glutes. 1 more breath, inhaling. Exhale. From there, roll on up, windmill the hands, find your way back to a plank. And from there, we're going to drop down to the knees, find table. So we've worked the upper body super hard. We'll take a little stretch now. Left hand plants, inhale, right hand lifts. Exhale, take that right shoulder down to the mat, left hand out in front of you. So we're stretching into that right shoulder, letting the spine extend and breathe. So just shimmy yourself around, find somewhere that feels really good for you. We've worked the upper back really hard, the shoulders, we've got into the abs, worked the legs as well. Just taking a nice little stretch here before we will finish off with abs. Working here for another 3, inhaling. Exhaling, really feeling that breath in the upper back. 2. 1 more inhale. Exhale. And from there, swapping over. Right hand plants, left hand lifts, inhale, extend, exhale, taking that left shoulder down to the mat, and right hand out in front of you. So we're stretching into that left shoulder, inhaling, exhaling. So deep breaths in and out, just a quick little stretch there for 3, inhaling, exhale, 2, taking 1 more deep breath in and out. From there, we're planting both hands down, swinging both legs out in front of us, and we're going to lower all the way down to lie on our backs. So starting off, we are going to take a bridge press. So you might want to take some heavier weights here. We're going to be working a little bit more into the glutes and the lower body. So we're going to take the weights in the air, press up, we're in the bridge position, and then we're going to squeeze the glutes, press up and lower. If you want to make it a little bit more fiery, start off with the weights at the chest, and then we're squeezing, pressing the glutes up as we press the arms and lowering down. So thinking about squeezing, powering on up and lowering on down. So feel that power in the glutes and the chest. Power, power, power. Lift on up. Working here for just 5. So working to the chest, into the glutes, into the lower body. Squeeze. Make sure those knees are in line. 4. Well done. Strong through the abs. 3. Well done. Lowering and lifting. 2. 1 more. So press on up. Squeeze up. And lower. From there, we're going to take a overhead pull. So we're going to take the weights behind us, and we're just going to squeeze the core, power up, weights to shins, chin to chest, and then we can lower arms overhead, toes down, and squeeze on up, press on up. So chin to chest, and we're lowering arms and legs straight away from us. If we want to make it harder, so chin to chest, squeezing all the way up. If you want to make it less challenging, you can plant the feet down and just work that little sit-up type movement. If you want to take it down again, you can just take a reverse curl with the weights in the air. So loads of options, either a overhead pull with squeezing chin to nose, maybe taking arms and legs straight. Oh, there's coordination has gone. Or you can, if you don't like the sit-up type movements, take the weights in the air and squeeze the core. Take a little reverse curl with the weights in the air. So entirely up to you. Working any of these, chin to chest for 5, slow lowers and lift, squeeze, 4, well done. So slow lower and lift, make sure that lower back stays on the floor, make sure you've got those abs engaged. 3, we're almost there. 2, and 1, release. Awesome stuff. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. From there, we are going to take the weights out in front of us, the knees over the hips. We're going to take chin to chest and we're going to squeeze, open the weights out. So we're taking a little reverse fly. So we're taking chin to chest, squeeze and lower. So it's a similar movement, but we're taking the hands out wide. So chin to chest, squeeze, and we're taking the arms out wide, returning back through center. Option to stay there, option to take the legs out straight as you open the arms, and then squeeze everything back in, shoulders down. So squeezing, opening out, core engaged, and back in. If you just want to take the reverse fly with the lower back on the floor, the legs in the air, without lifting up through the chin and the chest, feel free. So you can just take that reverse fly, lower back on the floor, legs in the air, or you can add in that little crunch, so squeezing on up, opening out at the top of that crunch, and then coming back in. So this is a coordination fly. So chin to chest, squeeze the core, lift, maybe extending the legs as you open the arms out, and returning. Hang on in there, doing really well. Final little exercise. Working here for 5. Any variations. Working to the chest, into the abdominals. 4. Make sure it's that squeeze of the abs that's doing the lifting, not the neck. 3. Well done. 2. We'll take a little stretch after this. And 1. Nice work. Oh gosh. Right, give yourself a little squeeze. Really nice work today. Take a little stretch. Let's take a reverse pigeon. So left ankle onto the right knee, maybe staying there, or if you can, we're taking the hands through to the back of the right leg or to the right shin. Shoulders are back, stretching out through the back of that left leg. Inhaling and exhaling. So a really lovely big deep stretch right down through the back of that left leg. Shoulders relaxed, hips are opening. Deep breaths in and well done. Working here for 5. Deep breaths in and out. Shoulders are relaxed. 4. Inhaling. Exhale. Deep breaths in out. 3. Just stretching. Take a bit longer in those legs. 2. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Swapping over there, we're going to just take our right ankle onto the left knee and either staying there or maybe taking your reverse pigeon on the other side, taking the hands through and just taking some nice deep breaths here, opening up out through the back of that right quad, the right glute, shoulders are relaxed, deep full breaths in and out. So we're stretching into the back of that right leg, back of the neck long, deep inhales. Exhales. Well done. Working here for 5. Deep breaths in. And out. 4. Steady flow with that breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3. Deep breaths in. And out. 2. And 1. Nice. From there, taking a happy baby, peace sign fingers around the big toes, knees in towards the armpits, and have a little wiggle, a little stretch. So thinking about pressing the whole of the lower back down towards the floor. Back of the neck is long, stretching out through the hips. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more deep breath in. And out. From there, we're just going to rock our way straight up to seated. And take a little stretch through the upper body. So take your left hand across the body and just taking the right hand either above or below the elbow, draw the shoulder down and across. So we're aiming to get into the upper back. So just taking a quick little stretch there. Deep breath in. And out. And then taking that same hand up and over so the elbow is coming to the air. Just take the top right hand over the top of it and press it back. Keep the chest lifted, the head lifted, so we find a stretch with that left tricep. Deep breath in. And swapping sides, taking the right hand across the body, taking the left hand above or below the elbow. Make sure that right elbow draws down and then across, so we stretch into that right shoulder, into the right upper arm for 3. Well done. 2. And 1, and then just quick right hand over the head, just taking that left hand and just gently stretching into the tricep. So we're aiming just to gently lift that right elbow as it were up to the sky. Deep breath in. And from there, give yourself a little shoulder roll, have a little shimmy, and have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. Great job, team. Well done. Well done on Insta, Facebook, Zoom. Thanks, team.